So, what have we got here?
It looks like a suicide.
Where's the body?
You mean what's left of it. It's being taken to the morgue. The coroner will be doing an autopsy later today.
All right. Where's the outline showing the placement of the body?
Here, 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 and here.
Wow. Do we have a description of the victim?
We found a driver's license on the body. Here's his photo.
I've never seen anybody so bald and pale. And he is really out of shape. I think he's as round as he is tall. And it says his name is...
Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty?
Yes.
So, why are we treating this one like a suicide?
Well, witnesses say that Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
Why was he up there? Was he depressed, having a terrible autumn?
Actually, friends who knew him say that Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Who are the witnesses?
All the king's horses and all the king's men.
Horses, huh? I don't think their testimony is allowed in court.
True, but they are the main witnesses.
You know I hate it when you do that.
Yep.
Yet you continue to pun.
Well, I am the punished sir.
So we've got Humpty Dumpty falling off the wall to his death.
Exactly.
But there's one problem.
What's that?
Take a look at his picture again. You see those skinny little arms and legs?
Yeah.
How could Humpty Dumpty get himself all the way to the top of that wall?
So you're saying that this isn't a suicide, but that it's...
That's right. I think that this is an egg-cide. In the nursery rhyme justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The detectives who investigate the crimes and the magistrates who prosecute the offenders. These are their rhymes. Are any of the witnesses still here?
We have one of the horses.
Good, let's talk to her. She may be able to give us a lead.
Or she might just stir up trouble.
Excuse me, I understand you were at the scene of the accident. At exactly what time did it occur?
3:07, I see.
So, did you see Humpty Dumpty fall?
Nay.
Did you see him sit on the wall?
Nay.
This is ridiculous. We're not going to get any information out of her. She's not talking.
You'll have to cut her some slack, sir. She has trouble talking.
And why is that?
'Cause she's a little horse. Let me try to question her. Can you tell us in your own words what happened?
Oh my goodness, it was terrible, it was horrible, it was atrocious-able.
Let's take it easy, maybe rein it in a little.
We were in the stable around the corner when the king's men were tugging on our feed bags. We heard this gargantuous splat, and I ran outside to see what I could do to help.
And what did
It was
you do to help?
awful. Well, naturally, all the king's horses and all the king's men tried to put Humpty back together again.
And what stopped you from doing just that?
Well, none of us had finished all 4 years of medical school, let alone the 5 years of residency it takes for organ replacement surgery.
And what else prevented you from helping Humpty Dumpty?
No hands.
Well, there's that.
Did you know Mr. Dumpty?
No, he didn't really have many friends. He was pretty obnoxious.
A bad egg, huh?
Well, if this is all, I have to get back to work.
Is there anything else you can tell us that could help us in our investigation?
I know he was renting a room from the old woman who lived in a shoe.
Can you tell me his apartment number?
No, but I know he's renting out the ground floor.
So he was the sole occupant.
Well, if this is all, I have to get back to work.
Thank you. We won't keep you. Can you tell us what you do in town in case we need to contact you again?
This horse holds a very important position. She's the town mayor.
Deal with this every day?
Yeah, that's why they took away my gun.
Shh. You want to go get some donuts? Over. Shh.
No, Punish, not really.
How about some coffee? Over. Shh.
You know, I'm more of a water kind of guy.
Shh. Boring, flavorless. Sounds about right. Over. Shh.
Whatever. Loser. Are you the old woman?
My, aren't you the charmer?
Are you the old woman who lives in a shoe?
Who's asking?
Detective Green, and are you?
No, I'm not the old woman who lived in a shoe.
You know, I find that very suspicious, considering you live in a, very shoe-like building.
You've got me confused with someone else. I'm the young woman that lives in a Birkenstock.
Birkenstock.
Yeah.
Aren't Birkenstocks sandals?
Well, I did some remodeling lately.
Right, young woman.
You got a problem with that?
Look, ma'am, if we could just be let in to ask you a few questions.
You're not from Child Protective Services, are you?
No.
Or Housing Code Enforcement?
No.
Or the Department of Homeland Security?
No, ma'am. I'm from NRU for suspected murder.
Murder?
Yes.
Well, if it's just a murder, then come on in. Can I get you detectives anything? Coffee, tea, broth without any bread?
Hey, broth sounds pretty good, huh, detective?
Thank you, ma'am, but we're on duty. Now, if I could ask you a few questions. Did you have a renter here by the name of Humpty Dumpty?
What do you mean, did?
His body was found near the wall. It was a terrible scene. We're both pretty shell-shocked.
Did Mr. Dumpty rent from you?
You could say that. He had trouble holding a job. He was always behind on his rent.
So you're saying he had to really scramble for work?
And you are?
This is my partner, the punished sir. So, Mr. Dumpty was a loner. No friends?
He had one person meet him frequently, about once a week.
Can you tell me this person's name?
I never caught her name.
Can you describe her?
She was gorgeous, stunning really. Arms like an angel, a long, elegant neck. A little too much eyeshadow though.
Say, that sounds like Swan to me, detective.
Yes, it does. Does the name Beautiful Swan ring any bells?
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
Her name used to be Ugly Duckling, before she had it legally changed.
Ugly Duckling? Well, of course, Humpty spoke to her all the time on the phone. I never connected the name Ugly Duckling with that vision of loveliness that came calling at the shoe.
So, when Beautiful Swan came to pick up Humpty Dumpty, where did they go?
They had this meeting they went to, some support group.
Humpty Dumpty went to a support group? Do you know the name of it?
Love, optimism, self-esteem, respect, support.
Losers?
It's a group for people with low self-esteem.
Do you happen to know where this support group meets, perhaps?
No, but Humpty gave me a phone number just in case if I needed to call him while he was out. I'll get it for you.
So, Mr. Dumpty and Miss Swan, they were in a romantic relationship.
They were, but Swan broke up with him, said she needed to find herself.
So Humpty got Dumpty.
You deal with this every day?
Ah, that's why they took away my Billy Club. Thank you.
In the nursery rhyme justice system.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm Detective Green, NRU. I have some very bad news. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a little accident.
What are you saying? It wasn't a very pretty scene. We're very sorry.
We understand you were a friend of Mr. Dumpty.
I know you're probably shattered by the news, but we're wondering if you could answer a few questions. He was feeling very fragile this week, but you wouldn't say he was close to cracking up, would you?
Why, no, he was just feeling a bit mixed up, but he was more positive than I've seen him in a long time.
Starting to look at the sunny side of things. This isn't going to go over easy. Miss Swan, we suspect foul play.
You mean
His fall was no accident?
We don't believe so. Miss Swan, can you think of anybody who might have wanted to harm Humpty Dumpty?
besides the bullies that rolled him for his lunch money, it's hard being the fat kid, you know, or the ugly kid.
I should know. I was made fun of as a child, too.
Miss Swan, can you think of anybody, I don't know, more recently that might have wanted to hurt Humpty Dumpty?
I can't think of anyone.
We're looking for a hard-boiled kind of character.
You deal with this every day?
That's why they took away my taser.
I'm sorry I can't help you more, Detective.
Here's my number. If you think of anything else, give me a call.
Thanks, Detective. Did you notice anything unusual, Detective?
What do you mean?
Well, Miss Swan didn't seem too upset for being his only close friend.
Sometimes the shock has to set in.
I don't know.
You suspect Swan? She can't be a suspect.
And why is that?
Deductive reasoning?
Mm-hmm.
She's not a nursery rhyme character.
Ugly duckling, beautiful swan. Pretty sure she is.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, if she's a nursery rhyme character, what's the rhyme?
Well, Mr. Smarty, it's Hickory Dickory Duck.
That's Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse ran up the clock.
Okay, Diddle Diddle Duckling.
That's Diddle Diddle Dumpling.
I know. Little Miss Ducket sat on her bucket, right?
That's Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet. What?
Okay, now I know you're lying because there's no such thing as a tuffet.
No, it is a tuffet. Don't even get me started on curds and whey.
Tuffet. No kidding, you're serious.
Yeah, Swan was created by Hans Christian Andersen. I don't even think Andersen is related to Mother Goose.
In the nursery rhyme justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups.
Not one clue so far. We're gonna have to work extra hard to solve this case, huh, Detective?
Look, Punish, I think you should ease off on the puns while we're with the coroner. He has plenty of sharp objects.
Ah, Detective. Glad you and your partner can make it here so soon. Come on, I got something to show you.
I was hoping he'd be done with that already. I don't really have a stomach for this.
First, we'll need to put these on.
Why do we need gloves?
Hello, giant egg. You want to get salmonella?
Right.
Put these on too.
What are these for?
Regulations, health inspectors, you know.
Oh,
Well, if you hand me that whisk, we can go ahead and get started.
what have you found so far?
Well, I've examined the outer body. I had to be very careful.
So you felt like you were walking on eggshells?
I've heard about you. You're the new guy, right? The Punish, sir?
That's me. I see my reputation precedes me.
It does indeed. Word around the department says you already have 15 Eighth Amendment violations filed against you.
Eighth Amendment?
Cruel and unusual punishment.
I get you.
Anyways, the victim died of severe trauma to the head, chest, and pelvis.
All three?
Well, with this victim, his head, chest, and pelvis are all one and the same. But here's the weirdest part. If you look in here, you'll notice it's all white.
All white. That's funny. Where's the yellow?
Funny. Why is it funny? I don't get the yolk.
Make that 16 violations of the Eighth Amendment.
There was no yolk. Do you think the perpetrator had something against cholesterol?
That, or possibly making a meringue for a massive lemon pie.
Why do you say that?
Not only was the yolk removed, but the white, it's fluffy.
So Humpty Dumpty was beaten, then whipped.
17. Detective, could you please hand me that spatula?
Here you go. So the perpetrator was either a health nut or someone who really loved pie.
Or both.
Sal, can you tell us anything else?
Humpty Dumpty had a tattoo.
A tattoo? What was it?
It was just the words, grade A large.
Wow, for somebody with low self-esteem, that's pretty conceited.
I suspected all along he was an egomaniac.
But here's the weirdest part. He had traces of food coloring on him, and the carton he was brought in had an expiration date on it.
So he was dyed when he died.
You deal with this every day?
That's why they took away my car.
Well, that's about all I've got for you. Care for an omelet?
Hey, that's not a...
Oh no, this isn't Humpty. I just haven't had breakfast yet. Little forensic humor there for you.
Don't mind if I do. Wow, this is amazing.
And good for you too. High in protein and no cholesterol.
In the nursery rhyme justice system,
The people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The detectives who investigate the crimes and the magistrates who prosecute the offenders.
So, what are we doing here, Detective?
I'm just following an instinct. Sal said the perpetrator was either a health nut or someone who really loves pie. If I remember correctly, Jack Sprat could eat no fat.
And his wife could eat no lean, right?
Exactly. So therefore, Jack Sprat would be the health nut who has something against cholesterol.
And his wife would be the one to eat a massive lemon pie.
I think this is the place.
Yeah? What do you want?
I'm Detective Green, and are you? We're looking for Jack. Is he home?
Jack? We want Jack.
We need to ask him a few questions. May we come in?
Jack is indisposed.
Disposed?
Yes. He's running.
Running? Running where exactly?
In the shower. He's so skinny he has to run around the shower to get wet.
When he gets return mail, it reads, "Return to Slender."
During a thunderstorm, he can stand under a clothesline to stay dry.
His favorite song is "Lean on Me."
When he stands sideways with his tongue, he looks like a zipper.
He'd make a good magician because he's
Miss
so
Sprat, if you could just get your husband.
You are no fun. Jack! Get in here!
Yes, dear?
These two flappers want to talk to you.
Yes, officers?
Mr. Sprat, where were you on the night of the 13th?
I was doing some baking.
Would that baking happen to involve pies, perhaps?
Why, yes, but I don't see what
Because a Mr. Humpty Dumpty was found beaten and whipped the next day. And you need to break a few eggs to whip up a pie, don't you, Mr. Jack Sprat, if that is in fact your real name?
But,
Don't give me no buts, Mr. Egg Cracker. Murder in this case was a half-baked idea.
but,
Listen, are you gonna talk, Mr. Patsy Chef, or am I gonna need to pun again?
Wait. What's the big idea?
Well, I was on the verge of getting him to talk.
But it's my turn to be bad cop. You were bad cop last time.
No, it's my turn to be bad cop. And besides, with a name like The Punisher, I'm kind of a natural.
I am tired of being good cop. I'm tired of saying there and being empathetic and ordering coffee and loosening the thumb screws.
Well, it's my turn to be bad cop, so...
No, my turn.
My turn. So, are you gonna talk, Mr. Jack Sprat, or shall I pun again?
hey, I know my rights. I know my rights.
Shut your pie hole, pie man. Now talk.
But,
You heard me. Shut up and talk.
I noticed your wife has some egg whites in her apron.
So, what of it? I eat a lot of omelets. They keep up my strength.
I'm willing to bet that the egg white we found on you will match that of Humpty Dumpty. We have a witness who has a picture of Mr. Jack Sprat here beating egg whites. It'll be Exhibit A. Honestly, what were you two thinking? You're nursery rhyme characters. You should set a better example. We expected better from you.
Stop the bunnying! I'll talk! I'll tell you! I'll talk!
don't say another word. We know our rights. We want a lawyer.
And we won't talk until we get canceled!
Exactly what's coming to you.
You do this
Every
day?
That's why they took away my bicycle. You two are under arrest. Would you two shut up? We're crossing the street. The nursery rhyme justice system.
The people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The detectives who investigate the crimes and the magistrates who prosecute the offenders. These are their rhymes.
All rise. The people versus Jack Sprat and his wife Part 32. The Honorable Judge Mental is now proceeding. Court is now in session.
You may call your first witness.
The defense calls Mr. Jack Spratt.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the said truth?
Yes. Mr. Spratt, you heard the witness before you claim you're being the eggs whites. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. Hey, there ain't no law against feeding egg whites.
True, true. But the witness also claimed you being the egg's giant shell. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. Grade A, large egg.
I'm warning you. One more gasp, and it's a girdle to the noggin!
May I ask, where'd you get this giant piece of egg?
From Mother Goose.
Mother Goose. The Mother Goose.
Yes.
Your Honor, Mother Goose is right outside this courtroom. I suggest a bailiff Garland to witness stand for questioning.
Yes, bailiff, go grab Mother Goose. And be careful, she's got quite the temper.
Unhand me, you hawk! This is police brutality, you little hawk!
Swear her in, bailiff.
I think she's already swearing, Your Honor.
What the hawk is going on here?
Mr. Jack Spratt's on trial for the murder of Humpty Dumpty.
Murder? Of my son?
Is this the first you've heard of the murder of Humpty Dumpty?
Yes, it is. Who did it? Was it that nasty Mrs. Spratt?
Hey, I never.
Why do you think the perpetrator was Mrs. Spratt?
She was always jealous of my son's figure.
And yet she has an alibi on the night of the 13th.
The 13th? Are you saying my son was murdered on the 13th?
Yeah.
But that's impossible. He was fit as a fiddle at breakfast this morning.
Go. Just go ahead. Gasp away. See if I care.
What do you mean still alive? His body was found at the bottom of the wall.
That wasn't his body. That was his shell.
What do you mean?
Humpty is my son and has been living with me for the past 5 years since he graduated from college. He's quite smart.
I always knew he was an egghead.
One more outburst like that, and I will hold you in contempt.
As I was saying...
In fact, with puns like that, now I hold you both in contempt.
As I was saying, Humpty is quite smart, but he could never leave the nest and gain his independence. Sure, he moved out for a while, but he was living in a shoe, for goodness sakes, and I was still packing his lunch and doing his laundry. That is why Beautiful Swan broke up with him. Well, when she left him, that was the last straw. Now, I'm not usually the one for mixed marriages, but I thought Humpty was the bird for Beautiful Swan. And I wanted grandchildren, so I pushed him out of the nest.
You pushed Humpty out of your nest? You murdered your own son?
Murdered? You think I've committed murder? How dare you, Hawk, accuse me, Hawk, of murder!
Now, Mrs. Goose, no one here is accusing you of murder.
I forced him out of his comfortable shell, but I haven't murdered him. I'm meeting him for lunch today. In fact, here he comes now.
There you are, Mom. What's up? I thought we were doing lunch.
You all know my son, Humpty. Goosey.
Humpty, you're still alive?
Yes, and now I'm independent. I got my own condo, and I made my first down payment.
Hey, that should have been my pun.
Your Honor, seeing that the victim is alive and well, might I suggest...
I agree. Case dismissed. The defendant is free to go.
Well, it just goes to show you, Detective,
What's that?
don't count your victims before they're hatched.
Being judged, that is part of
the air.
Players, players, players ho! Welcome! Come see the play tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Buy your tickets from my acquaintances. A play, a play. Come see the play. A play tonight. Come see the play, ladies and gentlemen.
That is not gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Italy, a play, a play.
Do you have any gold? Anyone have any
Arlequin, eh?
Tutti mi dispacci.
Trino Dino! Excuse me. We should speak English. We are world travelers, and we often forget what country we are in. So I apologize. Arlequin says she is sorry, but I say I don't think so. Arlequin is a very naughty fellow, and she may apologize for doing some mischief and then turn right around and do something worse.
See?
But Arlequin needs no encouragement. We are the players, and we are here to perform for you today. Today, we will perform...
Oh, no, Pla! No! Too expensive. See, an opera. I will sing tenor. Oh, very handsome, very brave. The magnificent great person with a magnificent great voice who is very handsome. Handsome. With magnificent great voice and a magnificent great nose.
Panchin, we're not here to do an opera.
Ah, then tragedy. No! Too expensive! See, tragedy. I'll play the hero who dies for love. Oh, destiny! Oh, fate! Sanguine! Sanguine!
Panchin.
Go away, I am dead now.
Panchin, do tragedy.
Not tragedy?
No, we do Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. See,
I cannot play Pinocchio.
you will not play Pinocchio.
Who will play Pinocchio?
I will play Pinocchio.
Where will you play
Yeah,
Pinocchio?
why will you play Pinocchio?
You
You
play
always
Pinocchio
play
all the
me.
time. We can't
Because-
afford Pinocchio.
Because Panchin must play the kindly old carpenter, Maestro Geppetto.
Maestro. He has a good nose, see?
You see, great nose.
Ah, great nose, like all great men. Leonardo da Vinci, Caesar, they all had noses out to, here.
I see, a great man with a great nose, and I will play Pinocchio.
Once again, why will a boy play Pinocchio?
Because Pinocchio was a little wooden puppet. Little puppet. Little. You are too big. Pantalone will be playing.
The wealthy and handsome merchant of the town.
Maestro Geppetto's old neighbor and the puppet master. Rosetta will be playing the Blue Fairy, and Arlequin will be playing... all the other parts no one else wants.
I want to play the fox.
Oh, jeez.
You will play the cat.
I want to play the fox. I want to play the fox. I want to play the fox.
Okay, you may play the fox.
I will play the fox.
Fast a little.
Cha-la-la boom the egg, cha-la-la boom the egg, cha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la boom the egg, cha-la-la boom the egg, cha-la-la boom the egg, cha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la boom the egg.
Once, long ago, in a little small town in Italy, there was a block of wood. This block of wood was cut from an ordinary tree. There was no reason it should have been special, but it was. It was very special. Very special, this wood. Do you want to read this? No, you read very well. Thank you. This block of wood just turned up one day in the house of old Maestro Antonio. That was his real name, but everyone in the town called him Maestro Cherry because he was a master carpenter whose nose was just as red as a ripe cherry.
Hello, I am Maestro Cherry. Nice to meet you. Buongiorno. Good day to you.
Maestro Cherry just awoke one day to find this ordinary block of wood in his wood shop.
Look at this ordinary block of wood that just appeared in my workshop. Oh, I can use it to make a leg for a table I'm building or something like that. Let me just take my axe, nice and sharp, and give it a good whack.
Please don't hurt me.
I thought I heard a voice. I must be getting old. Let me just give it a good chop.
Ah, that hurt.
Oh, the wood can talk.
Maestro Cherry was so frightened by the little voice that he fell right down and stayed there until his old friend, Maestro Geppetto, came to the door.
Good morning, Maestro. Are you home?
Come in.
What are you doing on the floor?
What is anyone doing on the floor? I'm talking to the ants. They get so lonely.
Bravissimo. What a wonderful idea.
So, what brings you to my workshop?
I have come to ask a favor. Do you have some wood I could use?
You mean like this wood here?
I can have this wood here.
This wood here?
This wood here.
This wood here?
I can have this wood here.
This very wood here?
This very wood here.
Yes.
This wood here.
Good time.
Oh, it's a block of wood. What should I call you? You are a pine log, so oak. No. Pine. Pinocchio.
Chop a little here. Chop a little there. I think it's clear this wood is rare, so I carve all night and then by day. A little marionette will come my way. I make my wooden boy.
Ah! Here goes my little bucket. Let's see if you can see top. Do you guys know how to get the puppet to sit up?
Oh
I
no.
know.
Sitting up right now.
There's like right.
The puppet, where would you sit up?
You're bad at your job.
You are bad at your job.
Turn around.
Turn around?
Yeah.
No, he's not. You look crazy.
You're
You know how to
Behind you.
Behind me?
Right there.
Oh, you can sit up.
There you go.
Oh no, this is no good. Just carved out and you already misbehave.
Ha-ha! Oh no! I'm so hungry I'm going to starve to death! I should have never run away! Oh, what a horrible, horrible mistake! Ah!
I'm Miss Friggett, who has lived in the house of Geppetto for 100 years.
Go away!
I will leave and I've given you good advice, Pinocchio.
Oh, but I don't like advice!
Poor puppet, I feel so sorry for you.
Why do you feel sorry for me?
Not only are you made of wood, but your head is full of sawdust too.
Sawdust?
Yes, you are a very stupid puppet.
I'll show you who is stupid!
Pinocchio!
Papa? Oh, Papa! I'm so very sorry for running away. I thought I was going to starve to death without you.
Are you hungry? Here, I brought you a pear.
Pinocchio ate the pear up, and he was so hungry that he even later ate the rind. He even promised to be a good boy and go to school.
Pinocchio, here, I bought you a couple things for school. I need your hat. Here it is. And here is your reading book. Be a good puppet on your first day of school.
Papa, where is your coat?
Oh, I sold it. It was too hot.
But, Papa, did you sell your coat to buy me this reading book?
Oh no.
You did! You have no money otherwise! Oh, Papa, I promise I'll go to school and I'll learn to read, and tomorrow I'll learn to write, and then I'll learn arithmetic, and I'll get a fine job and buy you the best coat with gold and silver thread and diamonds for buttons. I promise, Papa.
Goodbye, Pinocchio. My boy's gonna learn the arithmetic.
What's this? Oh, it's a puppet show.
Hey, you. 4 cents admission.
But I don't have 4 cents.
Then go. Hey, wait.
Can I pay you tomorrow?
If you do not have 4 cents today, you will not have 4 cents tomorrow.
Will you buy my waistcoat?
It is all patched and ragged. It is not worth 4 cents.
My little boots?
Puppet boots.
My reading book?
Let me see that. I'll take it.
Is it a puppet like us?
Oh, I am Pinocchio.
Brother Pinocchio! Come up here, Brother Pinocchio!
Hey! Get on with the show.
We are greeting our Brother Pinocchio!
You will get on with the show or I will burn you.
Do not burn Arlecchino.
You are right. I should not burn Arlecchino. I shall burn Brother Pinocchio.
You were not there!
I will. I will burn him up and use him to cook my supper.
Oh, help me, Papa, help me!
You are a puppet. You have no papa.
I do! I have a wonderful Papa, and with me all burned up, you would have no one left.
You really have a papa?
I do. He sold his coat to buy me that reading book, which I sold to you so that I could see the show.
You really have a papa? Oh, what a sad story. Here, take this gold. Take it to your papa. Tell him I say hello. Go now. Go. Go. Oh, what a sad story.
Papa gave you 5 gold coins. Oh, what a lucky puppet I am.
What are you?
I am Pinocchio.
What you got there in your hand there?
Coins?
From who? Whose coins?
From the puppet master.
The puppet master stingy. You stole those coins.
I did not.
Where are you getting the coins?
Because me and my papa are very poor.
I can see that. Well, let me tell you what to do with those coins. There's this little building down the street. I don't know if you've ever been down there. It's called church. Go there. Take that money. There's this thing called an offering. They'll come up to you with a bowl. Take all that money in. Put it in the bowl.
I can't put all of it.
Why not?
I have to give it to my papa.
If you give that money to the church, you give it to your papa too.
But my papa...
No, go. Now, go. Joe.
Make way
Here's
for
the
the
money.
line! Make way for the line! Make way for the... Ah, excuse me. Can you direct me to the river crossing? I am planning to see.
I would, but I only know my own way home.
We are poor but honest travelers, and you are...
I am Pinocchio. My father is also poor, but honest. But he won't be poor for long, because I've been given 5 gold coins.
How would you like to double or triple your gold coins? How about 100 or 1,000 gold pieces to take home to your papa?
Well, how can I do that? I only have 5.
We will take you to the Field of Miracles. Oh, what a good idea! All you have to do is dig a little hole, put in the gold coins, water them, cover them, and the next morning when you wake up, you will have 5 trees full of gold pieces, more than you can take home to your papa.
Oh, what a wonderful idea! I can plant my coins and take all I can back to my papa. And what is left I can give to you.
Oh, no.
To us?
We wouldn't hear of it.
Oh, no.
We only work to make others rich.
We don't take money for ourselves.
How very generous of you. Let's go to the Field of Miracles.
And so it was that Pinocchio took the 5 gold pieces he was given and buried them.
Hey! money.
I do not think so. And so it was that Pinocchio took the 5 gold pieces he was given and buried them.
I think he's using our real money.
What's the difference?
Well, if it's real money, someone like me could come along and snatch it when we're not looking.
I don't think that will happen. And so it was that Pinocchio took the
I must insist that I determine if this is real or fake money.
No. Out. Down. Out. No. Out. On the ground. You will not stop the show for this. You will shout all the time. You not be quiet and do your parts and go away.
If I was still rich, you would not speak to me like this. If I still had my ships of the sea and my mansions and my money, you would not speak to me this way.
You are right.
But you don't have those things, so shut up. Go.
And so it was that Pinocchio took the 5 gold pieces he was given and buried them as the cat and fox told him to. He woke up the next morning.
Ah, it is morning, now I should have. But where are my trees filled with gold coins? Oh, those scoundrels, those thieves, those swindlers! Oh, I've been robbed! Police! Someone, anyone help me, please! I've been robbed! Oh, what will my papa say? We are so poor and now I'm going to starve to death! If only someone! Anyone! Who are you?
I am she who watches over reckless boys and foolish puppets.
You must be very busy then.
Oh, I am.
What is your name?
I am the Blue Fairy. Now tell me, how did you get here?
I was robbed.
Oh,
Yes, a fox and a cat and a whole gang of 50 black dogs. They caught me on the road and they said that they would shoot me if I didn't give them my gold because they had guns. And I had to fight them. I fought so hard. I know that you think I'm just a foolish puppet, but I promise I can fight. I fought until I couldn't move anymore. Why are you laughing at me?
I am laughing at the lie you are telling me.
It's not a lie, it's true.
I'm sorry, but some lies have short noses and some lies have long noses. And the lie you are telling me has a very long nose indeed. Now, maybe you're not a bad thief or a mean scoundrel, but you did sell your reading book and you are a very naughty puppet. Now, I will give you one more chance, and this, if you promise to be a good boy and go back home and go back to school. Good. I'll see you later, Pinocchio. And remember, this time don't let yourself be destroyed.
I promise. I can't read any of these. What?
You must go now or something terrible will happen to you.
Terrible.
Yes, or it may already be too late. The coachman has taken all the children.
Come here, you protect the boy! I will get you! You got all the oysters! And you wrecked the body of my world! Get my pearls from my boy!
Stop in the ocean, run!
Sploosh.
It might seem that Pinocchio was safe for the time being. Safe except for the giant fish. Safe except for the giant fish. Where is the giant fish?
In the box.
Then take it out of the box and bring it here.
No.
No,
No.
we do not use the giant fish. We cannot go on with the story.
But we just got it cleaned, and if we get it dirty, we have to pay to get it cleaned again, and it's so expensive.
Everyone wants to see the giant fish, right?
Yeah!
Go and get the giant fish. Everyone wants to see the giant fish.
Fine.
That'll be fine.
But if one scrap of dirt gets on it, all of you are paying for it.
No.
silly puppets.
We have to find a way out of here.
Oh, I know the way out. I would have left a long time ago, but I can't swim.
Well, I'm made of wood and I float very well. You can just hold on to me.
Bravissimo! What a wonderful idea! We can just wait till the fish is snoring and opens his mouth real big. No! Swim, Pinocchio! Swim!
Hold on to me, Papa! Hold on!
I'm holding on, Pinocchio!
Mother, I don't think I can make it! I am sinking!
Let go of me, Pinocchio! Save yourself!
No, Papa! Hold on to me! Please! Ah!
Bravo! Bravissimo! You are a brave boy, Pinocchio, and you try so hard to save your papa. You deserve a reward, Pinocchio. You deserve a reward.
Papa! I don't think I can make it! I'm waterlogged!
Swim, Pinocchio! Let's be go!
No! No, I can! I can!
Wake up, Pinocchio. Wake up.
Papa, we made it!
We made it?
Pinocchio!
Cricket!
Well, I never thought I'd see you again.
Are you the cricket that lives on my heart?
Yes, good to see you. I've tried to keep an eye on your little boy here, but it hasn't been easy.
I am not a boy. I am only a puppet.
Pinocchio, she was right. You're a real boy. What has happened?
The Blue Fairy, Pinocchio. The Blue Fairy is the only one who could have done this. You've been a very naughty boy, but you did a good thing saving your papa. Now you can only stay a good boy.
I will, I promise. I was such a foolish puppet, but I'm a real boy at last.
And Pinocchio was much smarter as a real boy than he was as a puppet. However much smarter that is.
Pinocchio kept his promise to stay with his father, Geppetto, forever.
And the cricket kept its home on the hearth for another 100 years.
Oh, what a beautiful story!
It's finally over. Now you can all pay.
Bedlam, no!
Tra